Hey guys, so we have made it to 9 days. Jake's prompt for today was Screech, and I have to say I really enjoyed this one. I think it was down to the fact that I had an idea or a rough idea for quite some time, so I wasn't having to induce one as I did yesterday. So yeah, I was just able to sort of get stuck in, and I think I did alright, to be honest. It's not perfect, but I think it's as close as I thought I would be able to get in just over an hour, but it did come with some challenges. Just last night I started to realise that I might not be able to do it, just simply because there were parts of it that I hadn't attempted before. I managed it, and what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was the problem of feeling like you have a good idea but don't have the skill set or the experience to execute it. It's something that happens to me quite often, and that's why I thought I should try and give you some tips on how I managed with it today, so that hopefully we can both learn to just be able to put our ideas together, draw from them. So although it does come down a little bit to sort of practice and being able to draw, and it doesn't consist solely of that. Part of it is about being able to draw from your imagination, even if you use references. Being able to put it down onto paper is a whole new skill. Just practice jumping straight into it, trying to draw from an idea and practice that way. So my first tip is to realise that it doesn't need to be how you first imagined it. They rarely ever are, and that's not a bad thing, but the point of an idea is that it has multiple ways of being transcribed onto paper, and none of those ways are wrong. So with that in mind, just need to sort of make the decision to jump on it, and know that there isn't a taboo of approaching a good idea with amateur experience. If it goes wrong, that idea isn't spent. You can simply put it away for a while and come back to it when you've developed further. My second tip is to try and remove any additional pressure. Pressure comes in different forms, and most of them you can actually avoid. So one of the pressures is social media and posting it on social media. Tell yourself that you'll only post it if you like it. Don't start it with this intention of finishing it in that day within a certain time and then having to post what you produce. Try not to go out and buy a load of really expensive art materials. It's just sort of a way of setting yourself up for failure. You have this pressure over you that you need to make your purchases worth the money. And if you are going to buy stuff, trust yourself that what you're buying isn't dependent on that one idea, that it's about growing and that you will continue to use these products that you're buying even if the first attempt at a finished piece is not what you want. My third tip is to plan. The way that I plan is to basically do as many thumbnails as I can in a really short amount of time, trying to work out whether I want it landscape or portrait, or whether it's going to be square, where things are going to go. But I'm not drawing it that detailed, that literally is just a bunch of shapes. All you're trying to do is give this really vague concept that you have in your head more structure, like scaffolding. That way it's easier to picture. Also really important when you come to do a final piece that you relax and you enjoy it. As soon as you start losing that enjoyment for your piece, you start getting stressed and annoyed. So just stop, take a moment, leave it for a couple of hours or a couple of days and come back with a fresh perspective. Look at what's going wrong and think, should I start again or should I persist? Either way, as long as you finish it, it doesn't matter. And when you do finish it, the first thing you should do is congratulate yourself on having finished it. That in itself is a huge feat. Not many people do, and a finished piece is better than a perfect piece. But yeah, so congratulate yourself and then look at it critically and think, what are you going to improve on and how are you going to improve it? Are you going to do it again? Are you going to perhaps rearrange the composition, use the same idea but go from a different angle, or are you just going to move on to something else? Make sure that you just carry on practicing. that's all I've got for today. If you like the video, then as per, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Please share with anyone you think may also benefit or be interested in the topic I talked about today, and have a good Inktober. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.